What's something that everyone should know about X before they reach the age of 18? Hi Reddit guys, subscribe now, or I will block all the videos. How to use condoms. Sir, this is not Google, not even a Wendy's. Right. Because this is Patrick. I don't need some website to tell me how to put the balls in. X is something you do with someone, not something you do to someone. This comment should be higher up. Don't be silly, wrap your willy. Only fools don't wrap their tools. I read this out loud, and, because it's late and I am tired yet can't sleep, I said it as don't be silly. Wrap your willy. Guys, at some point even when you're young, your dong just won't work when you want it to. Whether because of alcohol, anxiety, circumstances, whatever. Accept it, explain to your partner the reason why you think it's happened, and move on. A good partner will understand completely and help you through it. If that partner doesn't understand or belittles your manhood because of it, find a different partner. To add to this, besides occasional ED being normal, it doesn't have to end XC time. Often, continuing with foreplay can be enough to get you back in business. Just give your little partner a short break. Sometimes, he just needs a breather. To add on to this, guys and gals be comfortable using toys on each other. Never know when a sore hole or limp dong may strike. Also keep spare batteries or set up a toy charging station, as it applies to the collection. I wish I knew this as a young man. I had this happen with 3 girls in my teens. I didn't get the confidence to perform until I had dated a girl for about a month and felt comfortable. I was too embarrassed to talk to anyone about it. It really messed with my self-esteem for years. Exactly what happened to me with the girl of my dreams a few days ago. We are still talking, but I'm definitely more awkward. I think I was too excited to finally go so far with her, and now I'm even more so. The person you're having X with may be in love with you. Act accordingly. On the flip side, the person you're having X with may not love you at all. Exercise caution. On that note, don't mislead people just to get some. If not for their feelings, then do the right thing so you don't risk your own reputation. This also, don't tell someone you're in love with them if you're not yet in love. This is wholesome in a way as well as good advice, thanks smiley face. That having X for the first time doesn't have to be some goal you try to achieve before high school ends or on some kind of deadline. I was 26 when I had X for the first time. It was quite forgettable, but it did boost my confidence a little bit. I dreaded the moment I'd be in a relationship with someone and then have to tell that I'm still a virgin, but thankfully she was cool with it, or that's what she said at least. If someone tells you something like this, with no evidence to the contrary, just believe them. Don't make life harder for yourself by second guessing intentions, etc. If it was a white lie, she was willing to do that for you so you could feel normal about it and not worry. Don't throw that away by still worrying about it. Accept the gift they are trying to give you. But the tone of her voice is B flat and she also sigh at 8:32 as well at 14:21 during the intercourse. Peen is not an instructional video. How else will I learn how to deal with lemon stealing whores? Or when your in-laws get stuck in a washing machine? Or worse, when they are stuck under the bed in a hostel? Why does this always seem to happen to people? P. Don't panic that you aren't having it. It's not all like the movies. Teens aren't banging everywhere all the time. Go at your own speed. I remember reading an article saying that X at college follows the 80-20 rule. 80% of it is being done by 20% of the population. That 20% is very visible, but most students aren't going at it like jackrabbits. Doesn't the 80-20 rule apply to like everything? It's such a strange phenomenon to me. Yeah, it's called the Pareto principle. 80% of effects arise from 20% of causes. The 80-20 rule probably applies to 20% of the things, but looks like 80%. I will share what my uncle shared with me. Wrap that rascal and she comes first. The ambiguity in the word shared is making me very uncomfortable. Would you mind clarifying? My dad was much older when he had me. His youngest brother was very worldly. He was a Marine, and a big reason on why I joined. Ever since I was 10 or so, he took it upon himself to be 100% honest with me about life and how to be a man. When I got to HS, he had a sit down with me about X. He counseled me on the truth about men and women. He told me few things that helped me have a great time. The top 2 were what I wrote. Always wear a condom. And, if some pretty young thing decides she is going to share herself with you, don't make her regret it. You make sure she comes first and it will pay dividends tenfold to you. I figured to shrink that down. He was a man of wise knowledge. Some girls take it as a compliment when a man comes quick. It's not as much about having her come first, but more of don't stop cause you're finished. You ain't done till she's done. It matters more who you're having sex with than just if you're having it. Yes, and your goal should be to make your partner feel good. That should in turn make you feel great as well. Truest words here. It's the difference between a 5-star fine dining restaurant and Applebee's. I'd still rather have Applebee's than stuff, but there's really no contest in the quality between the two. I'd rather cook for myself than eat at Applebee's, to be honest. You don't have to have X. You don't have to want to have X. You're not leading the other person on for going on a date and not wanting to have X at the end. This applies to both men and women. I needed to read this. I've been turned down by many guys because I wasn't comfortable having X right away. Hopefully someday I'll find someone who's willing to get to know me more first and allow me to be more comfortable. I hope I meet more people who think like you. I'm a guy. Until my mid-20s I thought I was supposed to sleep with every girl that wanted to. Thinking that X is obligatory kind of ruined it for me for a while. I guess when you're young a lot of what you do is based off of what you think is normal. Of all the things I did to just be normal, that's the one that I'd say is the least advisable. What are the other things you did to be normal? Drinking, fighting, drugs, car hopping, being a general piece of it. Everybody for the most part, there are some exceptions, gets horny and wants to have and enjoy X. It is not something that boys need to trick girls into or take from them or trade for, and vice versa. Treat people like human beings with their own lives, wants and needs, and if you find someone you have a good connection with, focus on making it special for both of you, building each other up, enjoying the present you both are in rather than stressing about the future, and figure out what you can do to add to that person's life, not take from it. Also, if that person isn't doing that for you, ask yourself if it is something that is actually good for you. That is more about relationships in general, to be honest, but the framework applies to X. Thank you. It is one of the most annoying and depressing things I had to put up with as a woman who enjoys X, that I was constantly on the receiving end of guys who were trying to trick me into X even though I was already there, ready and enthusiastic about having X. Like, dude, you don't need to buy me a Long Island iced tea. I was already down to have X with you and now you're making me feel really icky. Bonus points for if they act like they won when you're given, like, yes, hello, I'm here to have X too. You didn't flummox my female brain with your man tricks. I'm here because I wanted to be, but now I don't really want to be anymore. Make sure you use enough lube. Not everyone self-lubricants the same way, so making sure things aren't dry can help avoid soreness later. Also be aware of the type of lube. Oil-based lube will eat condoms. Water-based lube does not. Good call. Girls, make sure you pee after. Yes. Adding on, I've also heard men should too. It's just that women need to, because their urethras aren't as long as a man's, so they are more prone to HDMIs. I think you mean uties? Unless it's a joke that I'm too tired to understand, in which case ignore me, smiley face. But you're 100% right about the shorter urethras. Holy it, I didn't even notice that. My brain just skimmed right over it, comprehending it. UT. Our genetic predisposition to A versus makes us vulnerable to HDMIs. Process, not product. That is, enjoy the X. Don't just do it for the orgasm. Stress is not your friend in X. It can be vanilla and boring with someone you love is better than crazy sex with that hottie who just wants to hook up. Girls, what comes in, must come out. Lay down a towel if you aren't using a condom. This was a duh moment for me as soon as I sat up. Foreplay is X. 2. And for my friends who are loving on PPS, you need to pet that body until that pussy is dripping and is opening up for you. Ideally, you should never have to shove yourself in that first inch, or spread those lips. Make a want will won't list with your partner. Compare lists. Want is a list of stuff you have to have that you don't want to compromise on. The will list is stuff you don't necessarily want yourself, but stuff you are willing for them. Won't is stuff that's off the table. Revisit your lists regularly. Sometimes stuff changes. They have apps for this now, too. This is basically just talk about IT. After X, tell your partner the stuff they did that you really want them to do again. Be specific. Otherwise it probably won't happen again. You have to work at and fight for good X. After X, tell your partner the stuff they did that you really want them to do again. Be specific. Otherwise it probably won't happen again. You have to work at and fight for good X. Are we talking formal write-up, PowerPoint, or poster board presentation? 5,000 words, Times New Roman, font size 12, MLA format. I expect this to be turned in on Monday. Frick man, you making this sound like a class project. Okay Reddit guys, subscribe now, or I will block all the videos.